What's up? I'm back. CRWC commentary, Cedric Hidd, reviewing SmackDownish, which happened yesterday. It's 3:09 a.m. And I'm going to say a few positive things about SmackDown. I like that it goes by kind of fast. It doesn't seem like it just takes forever. I like that. It just smooths on by. And things get a little ridiculous, but it don't last long. So I'm happy about that. Yeah. So one negative that it was nice to see the bruiserweight there. Okay, but yet it was in the 4-way tag match and it was just ended up and uninteresting. And I was like, this is really what y'all do with your jobber tag teams? Just fed it up. That's all I thought. It just fed it up and move on. So sticking with more of the better things. You know what? I didn't write it down. I only followed the Bloodline stuff, and then I watched the main event just to get it out the system. But AJ Styles, who I do like, and LA Knight, who I do like. I wish he had kept Eli Drake, but still, LA Knight is good. He's very Steve Austin-y, very, very Steve Austin-y, but not all of his moves, but a lot of his swag. So if y'all miss Steve Austin, just watch him. Let's see. I thought the match was all right. It was a good match. Ended abruptly. It was a screw job finish. I like that. Poke to the eye, swan dive, forearm. I don't think that should have finished them, but I don't know. AJ looks good though. He's looking good. So following this Bloodline thing, go ahead and get that in there. So okay, so Solo Sikoa, I can remember Solo but not the Sikoa, and I thought it was Sikoa. I didn't remember that until I uploaded the last one and I was looking at OBS Studio and I was like, oh, and I had the other show playing, and right before they said his name, I was like, oh. So, yeah, well. Anyway, Solo Sikoa showed up in a Hitman's SUV and got out wearing Mob Boss threads. Paul Heyman had to acknowledge how dressed to the nines he was. The screen backs a little and Tama Tonga has teleported behind Heyman. Solo demands to be taken to Kevin Owens, and after some subtle suggestions, Heyman leads them there. I am inferring that Solo is vying to be tribal chief since Reigns hasn't showed up at all. My assumption is that Reigns has to give this time to more or less lick his wounds, you know. And if things get out of control, he might have to return with an attack dog as a babyface and recruit the Usos to be on his side. If this is the case, he's going to have to do some deep groveling. So later, they can't find Kevin Owens. It's been about 40-some minutes. They can't find Kevin Owens, and they lost Tama Tonga. So Heyman tries to talk Solo down by saying that he's making decisions he doesn't have clearance to make. Solo doesn't care, and he leads the way to the ring. I had to note, I like the camera work doing this. It's not the first time, but I love seeing the camera follow a wrestler to the ring. It gives it a more personal feel. It makes you feel like you're in there, like you're immersed into the situation. I love that. Back from the break, Heyman tries to talk about the bloodline politics in the back, and the fans chant, "We want Roman." And I wrote, odd how Roman turns face in a week. He hasn't been there. He hasn't said or done anything. And a week goes by and he's the babyface. When I first heard of Roman Reigns in WWE, no one liked him. They was pushing him to the moon. The fans hated him. And then they had to slowly back off his push, but it wasn't enough. And then he found that he needs to be a heel. And they found a reason to hate him, but then respect his heel work, but hate him so much, ultimately forming the bloodline. And, you know, the rest is modern history. And they hated him They needed Cody Rhodes to beat this guy that they hate so much, and he hasn't even done anything, and he's a babyface. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know. I just say this. WWE's audience, which is also the same as the AEW audience, they know what to expect. They know how to expect it, and they go along with it. Just like they went with Cody winning the belt. They knew months in advance he was going to win, and they knew because they gave that vibe. If he don't win, we are done with you. They gave that vibe. It was powerful. They had to listen. So, back from the break, as I said, he had to talk him down, but it won't work, and he won't trying to hear it. They chanted Roman, and Solo snatches the mic from Heyman and gets loudly booed each time he tries to speak. The fans hate this guy, and he's barely done anything. He's literally, well, you know what? I don't know how long the fans have been loving Heyman, but Heyman does a good job at putting you at ease. He's really good at that. So he's a good heel talker. I watched him get trained a little bit by Jim Cornette, that on the job training and whatnot, and then he got a hold of ECW. Then he elevated because he realized what he had to do. You know, watch him as Paul Lee Dangerously, then Paul Heyman and whatnot. So yeah, it's all good. Then, you know, the fans hate this guy, but Solo calls out Tama Tonga, who has found Kevin Owens, and throws him down the aisle. Tama joins Solo in the ring and boasts as Kevin gets back to his feet and drags Tama out. Solo shuts that down for a moment, but then Owens goes after Tama. He goes after Tama again, only for Solo to stop him with a spike. After that Samoan spike, Tama goes nuts on Owens, who has been busted open. Tama is just ravenous on the beating. Tama gets a chair. Nick Aldis stands guard of Owens. Heyman reels behind the two as they boast on the aisleway. I mean, they sitting there. I mean, he has to taunt with them, but you can tell he's reeling afterwards. He's doing the kind of the I'm scared, retching kind of motion and whatnot. So he gives you the strong, you can't confuse anything. Heyman doesn't like this. He is not going for it. I like it. And what's funny is he's dictating all of this, you know, just breaking up a little bit of that kayfabe or whatnot, you know. But, you know, but if you don't know that he's calling the shots, I don't know what's up. You know, he's leading this storyline. Back from the break, Aldis pulls Heyman in the parking lot to show him a car crash. And this car is Kevin Owens. This rental car is Kevin's. This rental car is Tama Tonga's. And Thomas crashed his car into Kevin's. Aldis wants order and demands Heyman get it together. Heyman stands in confused fear. Insane. That's about how it went. And then I ascertained to watch the main event. And I don't know all the players and participants, but it's Naomi versus Bayley. And Naomi's got bright gear and flashing shoes. Okay. I assume Damage Control will interfere or attack both women after the match. When Naomi loses, Cargill and I can't remember her name. I usually know it. It's right there, but I just put EST because she's supposed to be the best, the greatest, whatever the est is. Hopefully she's not the dumbest or the weakest or the scaredest, you know, but I assume that they will run in to help. Next week, because I assume next week is going to be a 4-on-4, or they'll keep building to the pay-per-view to further train Jade in their style. That's my assumptions, all right? So I'm going to watch this women's title match because, I mean, come on now, it's Bayley's first title defense, and no one does title changes on the first defense. Nobody. It'd be nice if they did, because then it makes you wonder if somebody can hold on to it. Not that somebody will, but how will they? In any case, they had me invested in this match for a little bit. At first, I was okay. They're wrestling, they're doing something, and then they started hitting some signature moves. And it's kind of early, but they ain't got but 12 minutes anyway, just shy of Broadway. And then, all of a sudden, because I wrote they had me invested in their match until Naomi applied a leg lace double ringing necktie that was used as a weak hope spot. The crowd didn't react to it. She applied this submission hold, and the fans didn't care. They didn't react. There wasn't worry. There wasn't concern, because it's not a high impact move to go whoa over. That's about it. I do miss back in the day when somebody would apply a submission hold other than the figure four and the fans, or the Scorpion Deathlock, and the fans would just go crazy over it. I miss the days when they cared about a submission hold. Submission holds aren't dangerous anymore. I guess that's how the fans feel. Let me know how you feel about it. What do you think? Are submission holds even worth it anymore? And I wrote, next they did the strike exchange after stopping the match. Just completely stop the match, do a strike exchange. And it was good strike exchange, more or less. It's just they stopped the match, jaw jacked and whatnot, and then the match spills outside, further losing me, and then Tiffany Stratton attacks both of the competitors, causing a DQ, moonsaults them both. How good is your champion? Look, I'm going to say a few good things after I'm done with this. But, I got to say, how good is your champion if her and the contender challenger get their ass whooped up by this, I don't know, little prissy SoCal Val looking girl. But I wrote, I got enough of these kind of endings in the early 2000s. They plagued every show. So here's the thing. Here's some nice things. I like that. I hope she's not hurt, but Bailey's knee got a little dinged, and she was hobbling. She wasn't hobbling and then just gonna bounce to the top rope, hobbling and then do a run. It won't right. So let's say it is a work. She did it right. That's how you do it. That's how you sell a potentially hurt body part. Naomi, I don't know. Both of these women, I'm just like, I just don't see it with them. I don't see it. I don't get them. For those out there that's probably followed their career, could you, if you can, make it a long one, but don't do no copy and paste from Wiki or something. But let me know in your own words, from your own heart, what is it, if you are a, Bailey or Naomi or both fan, what is it that captured, you with them? What makes you a fan of one or both of them? I want to know, and I'm curious. So I like how they did the match for the beginning. After that submission, I was like, well, this has gone downhill, and I'm waiting for the jumping. So I don't know how right I was, but it was. I don't know if Tiffany is part of Damage Control or not. I don't know who's in that group. I know it's a mixture of Japanese and U.S. So I don't know. I hope Tama Tonga isn't just used as a wild man. He's good for that, but you want to be sparing with it of him. You want Tama Tonga to talk. You want him to talk. You want him to mess someone up every once in a while when they deserve it. But right now, they're trying to build up another faction, I think. So we'll just have to see how that goes. If anyone else watched this, what y'all think? I thought it was a good show. I'm a sucker for Blue. So that's pretty much half of it. In any case, I don't think I need to prattle on any longer. So this has been Cedric for CRWC commentary on Friday night SmackDownish. And with that, y'all be good, be chill, be safe. And let me know if you want me to continue doing this, because I'll see you next time.